All right, so I'm looking for Adamsville Cemetery. And I'm up and down the road, and it says to turn right, and then it says to keep going straight. And so I finally went to the internet, typed in Adamsville Cemetery, went to my navigation again, and I'm like, I know I passed that, but it's an old farm road. So I'm coming down here, got the Jeep, I'm rolling, and I'm like, it says you're here. It says I'm here. And then I'm like, what the heck? So I went back down, I turned around, and actually I am here. It's this little canal area from the farm, and on the other side is the Adamsville Cemetery. All right, I think I'm going in the right spot. I'm gonna walk away from the Jeep, locked it up. But they have this little ditch, this canal thing running it's about 3.5 feet deep, and I don't wanna jump over it. So I'm wondering if there's another entrance, so I'm gonna go in through this direction. As you can see, there's tire tracks here. All kinds of bees all over the place here. This gravesite here seems very old. Right here. Not exactly sure about the history of Adamsville. It was just down the road from the Florence Museum I was just recording. But these are really crumbled. It looks like there used to be a sign right here of who these people were, but I don't want to disturb anything. So obviously there's another path into this, because here is the front of this cemetery. Right here, there's a sign right there. You come right through this gate as I get farther and farther away from the Jeep. And there it is, Adamsville Cemetery. Adamsville was one of the first 2 towns formed in Pinal County, Arizona. It was named for its original settler in 1866, Fred A. Adams. In 1900, the Gila River overflowed and wiped out most of the town. The cemetery was deeded May 31st, 1894 to the Ancient Order of United Workmen. It is among the only few original remains of the town of Adamsville. Wonder how you get in. Must be another road over here to get you in back through here, instead of coming down the farm road like I did. All right, I'm gonna head out of this cemetery, but there's a pile right there of rock, and it goes way up, but nothing's around that. They have somewhat of a path to get through here, but it's a very eerie being out here by myself. A lot of bees, a lot of animals, a lot of definitely gopher and snake holes in here, but interesting cemetery. We'll do a lot more investigating on Adamsville. Again, I was just passing by. I heard of this cemetery before. I was out in Florence, so I'm like, let me come and check it out. So I did. Very interesting. Okay, so I just got finished looking at that cemetery. I drove down the farm road, got onto the main road, took a left, and I'm telling you, within about 60 to 70 yards on the left, there looks like a small little cemetery right off the road. And I did notice that when I was up at the Adamsville Cemetery just a second ago, that I saw a car about 150 yards away. So I pulled around here, pulled onto the dirt road, and the road goes around, and I've noticed that I'm right where that car is at. There's a gentleman out here, but it looks to be another small cemetery right here. So I'm gonna get out of the car and see what's going on, see if I can get any information from this gentleman.
This is the View Cemetery. It was once co-located with the Adamsville Cemetery. When the land got sold off on this side of the road for agriculture, the rest of the cemetery here just got added into Adamsville. So for the last 9 months I've been restoring the whole cemetery and redoing all of the graves and capping them, making new crosses. And it turns out that we do have a few marked graves, so we know now who was in them. One of them is the 3-month-old daughter of the famous sheriff from the town, 6 times county sheriff that caught Pearl Hart, the famous female stagecoach. The Truman House is still in town. It's a historical marker, but the museum didn't even know that the little 3-year-old daughter was buried out here. We have some other stories of the people here that are well known in the past, but I don't understand why they don't take better care of the 2 cemeteries. But I'm just dedicating my time because I'm retired, so I'm paying for myself to restore the whole cemetery.
So we were just talking about whether there was other people buried throughout the cemetery that doesn't have grave markers, and you said...
One of the things that's been brought to my attention many times is there was many more graves here. It was estimated in 1973 when they came and tried to do an audit that there could be up to 100 graves in the View Cemetery. Right now we've got about 7 that are definitely identified and about 15 others that we know are graves, but we have no idea who are in there. We've had a couple of ladies that were playing in the cemetery when they were very little kids and mentioned that there was at least 24 little children's graves, and so far we've only been able to identify 1.
Okay folks, this is why I love doing the Arizona Timeless Tours. I just, I pulled over to this cemetery with the gentleman I was just talking to. I have just spent 55 minutes talking about this area in the state of Arizona with this man. He has pictures of this place. We're gonna meet up for coffee and we're gonna sit down and we're gonna look at pictures and we're gonna talk about this cemetery area. But it's why you need to get out and explore. Explore the state that you're in when you have the time. You'll meet some unbelievable people. But again, thanks for joining me for this episode of the Arizona Timeless Tours. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. I would greatly appreciate it. Till next time, take care of yourself.